Hello, guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today, it's been a while since I covered an influencer shenanigan, but usually I keep my bar pretty high. There's a lot of dumb, stupid things happening every day when it comes to the influencer live streaming space. But I think today I've seen something that just burns me to my fucking core, okay? So I kind of spent the night researching this and putting this whole docket together because I feel it's important for you guys to learn something here. Now, obviously, we probably all don't like child predators who are watching this. Like, statistically speaking, I think almost every single person watching this video probably has a severe dislike of people that harm children. Now, it's because of this that child predators are like the very bottom rung of society, and it's become a very easy content mill for some of the most awful people in society to effectively go out into the world, beat the shit out of these people, maybe sometimes falsely smear, which we've seen in this case, and basically make an entire rung of content. You can basically be the biggest piece of shit imaginable, but as long as you're picking on the child predator below you, it's easy pickings on the internet. If anybody ever told you making money on the internet was difficult, let me tell you, this, ladies and gentlemen, is like the ultimate cheat code for it. You could have the most checkered fucking past in existence, but as long as you're going after pedophiles, it's always easy street on the internet. So again, this guy, Vitaly, you might recognize him from some earlier parts of YouTube. I personally really recognize him from allegedly beating the shit out of a Miami jogger. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this individual, Vitaly, continued to block the jogger's path before tackling the woman to the ground and straddling her, according to the police report. The woman told police she desperately screamed for help as Zadorevetsky began punching her in the face and chest. The shouting caught the attention of a few nearby residents who witnessed the assault. So yeah, if you look into this guy's eyeballs, you might wonder, whoa, what a fucking cokehead. Now, from what I understand, Vitaly was also in the Philippines where I believe he actually went through some jail time. Nothing gets to the head of a cokehead at all. This man is a lost fucking cause. So to give you an idea, this is an individual that he was going after called Akash Singhania.
Wait, she never told me she was 16.
Oh, she did. Where's the Bluetooth speaker, honey?
Wait.
Where's the Bluetooth?
Again, I want you to allegedly understand, I allegedly think that he might be on some substances, okay? I can't confirm that, of course, but his activities don't exactly lead me to believe that he's a totally detox, clean individual.
Where's the Bluetooth speaker, honey?
Wait, no.
Honey
You
bun.
added me on Snapchat.
Honey bun.
You added me on Snapchat.
Honey bun. Bluetooth speaker. Honey bun.
Look at the messages right here.
Wait, where did she? I swear to God, she never told me she
Wait,
was
really?
16. I swear.
Oh shit! My bad, bro. You're good.
No, I swear to God.
Sorry, bro. Wrong person.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Wait, no, dude, listen. 18. I swear to God, I don't move like
Wait.
that.
So you trolling too?
No, we got the messages.
No, she said maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Probably deleted it on his end.
No, wait, I swear to
So basically what's happening over here is Vitaly is too dumb to do a sting operation himself, so he's worked with two other meth heads in this situation, allegedly, I think. And those meth heads, alleged meth heads, of course, have tried to sting this individual through an application known as Snapchat. Now, this guy says that the girl he was talking to was over the age of 18, which is very fucking consensual. Anything below that, we're getting into some scary, murky waters. Now again, obviously it would be a big issue if this guy was talking knowingly to a minor. But if he's talking to an adult, look, you might have whatever you want to say about a grown man's sexual proclivities, but as long as it's legal and consenting, ultimately that's between two consenting individuals. If he's not talking to a minor, then this whole situation is really fucking bad for the alleged predator poachers, and obviously the man platforming this, which is Vitaly.
What does it say?
So I told her
What
that.
does it say, Vitaly?
Listen, Neon.
Wait.
Let me read this real quick.
Wait.
What? Hold on. Let me read. Yo, one at a time. One at a time.
Let me just show you, okay? So you guys know that I'm not playing or anything like that.
Yo, can I read the whole evidence?
Come on.
He said, LOL, you can tell me. Fuck, okay, I want to be totally honest before everything. I lied on there. I'm 16. But shit.
Wait. No.
Don't make
That's
it
better,
weird.
yo.
Don't make it weird,
Wait,
please.
I'm calling the cops right now.
You said,
I'm calling the
you said,
cops.
wow.
So, okay, obviously she's coming up with her side of the story, and he does something that this guy should have done beforehand, which is call 911. The biggest problem with these predator hunting shit is that they never ever get the fucking cops involved, okay? You're gonna tell me to do all this fucking sting operation shit, but you're not going to get the cops involved, so at least you can have some chain of evidences to go with, and people actually behind bars, which, by the way, should be the goal of a predator poach. Obviously, leave it up to the alleged person being accused here to go, hold on, guys, let me just call the cops. Which immediately makes me wonder, I'm like, hold on a minute, so this guy was allegedly a bad dude, but he's the one calling the cops, when I guess the vigilantes in this case should have probably got them over here. Interesting side of the story.
Look.
Wait.
Wow, let me get it.
Wait, guys.
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
No, that's B, that's not me.
Look, why are you shaking?
I'm Akash, AXS 1286, that's not my account.
Hey, buddy, you pulled up. You fucking
That's
pulled
all
up,
your
buddy.
car?
You just thought we didn't have
Guess
to
what?
on
You pulled
Snapchat,
up.
buddy.
Guess what?
No,
The
wait,
cops
no.
were
We read
Snapchat.
the right
Hey,
evidence.
Guess what?
Hello.
Guess what?
Can you guys come
We
to
called
my
them for
location?
you.
Yeah.
Can you guys come to my location right now? I am at
He has a 2 Snapchats or what?
3705.
You must have 2 Snapchats, bro. No.
So at this point, all right, obviously the predator poachers in this case are coming up with theory crafts, right? They're like, you must have a burner phone. You must have a burner Snapchat. They couldn't even verify if this guy was the same person that they were going after. You would imagine that the predator hunter might have brought up the fact that maybe you send us a photo so we know that it's you, so that when you do show up, we have some fucking idea of who to actually go after, rather than just like blindly hitting you. I mean, there are so many layers to this that you would think, okay, if you're actually hunting down predators, what it sounds like is the predator hunters in this case, who are very inexperienced, it seems, themselves, decided to go onto some random app, talk to the first person they could find, bring them over somewhere, and then Vitaly would basically harass them for content.
Bro,
Wait, I'm
it's
on
you, bro.
camera.
You know the fans know what's
I'm
up,
not
right?
even on my phone.
You know the
How
fans
did I
know what's
log
up,
in?
right?
Wait,
You probably blocked it.
This is a
Not
Zooey.
saw you.
Oh yeah? Do the feds know what's up? Did you tell the feds? Did you get them involved? I bet not. And I love how you can tell Vitaly's just zonked out. He's not even in the same galaxy as us right now, dude.
Okay,
Just
wait.
explain.
Okay, look.
Well, yeah, let me hear your side of the story. Everybody gets to speak.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So,
But, Gabe, I asked you, bro. Please.
okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna just
go ahead.
show you everything one by one. Okay.
But you are Indian, so you are smart, so you probably cheated the
No,
system.
but for Indians,
Bro, again in the middle of me.
Jesus Christ. Vitaly just has to drop a little casual racism in there.
Say talking, bro. I asked you guys. Holy shit, I was just perfectly I was getting a perfect farm clip, and then somebody had to. Okay, hello. How are you?
You see, that's a really telling thing. He was getting a perfect farm clip is what he was saying, because that's all that matters to these people, right? It's not about stopping child predators or actually delivering some level of justice into the world. It's about using this shit for content, because ultimately Vitaly doesn't give a fuck if somebody was actually out there doing minors. He doesn't actually care. He only cares that this helps him rack up some level of viewership. I don't know how much of that viewership is actually real, considering the amount of botting that fucking goes around on these platforms, but any viewership is probably good for this for this waste of life at this point. Jesus Christ. So how do we know that this whole situation isn't exactly as real? This is not actually a real predator sting? Well, let's go hear what Vitaly has to say over here. Well, if you go to Vitaly's actual account, Vitaly posted this statement. It has come to my attention that on a recent episode of Catching Child Predators, my team and I mistakenly portrayed Akash Singhania as a child predator. This was a mistake that I deeply regret. He never intended to meet a minor and has been cleared of all wrongdoing. Really? After you blast him up to thousands of people on a stream? I apologize to Mr. Singhania, his family, his friends, and anyone else affected by this mistake. To be clear, the work we do to expose predatory behavior is of the utmost importance, really. Or is it I was getting a perfect fucking farm clip, friend. I was getting a perfect farm clip, Vadim. What are you doing? But in doing so, we cannot lose sight of the truth. I have removed the video from all my accounts, and I ask that anyone who has saved it, please do the same. No, Vitaly. No, it sounds like you're scared of an actual defamation lawsuit. I know defamation's really difficult to fucking prove, but Akash is not a public figure, and Akash has been accused of a very, very, very character. Remember, pedophilia is one of the worst things that you can be accused of, okay? If somebody accuses you of doing something untowards towards a child, that can that can ruin your fucking relationships, that can ruin your family relationships, that can take away your job, that can prevent you from getting employed. That puts you at serious bodily harm if you're falsely accused. That is the worst thing to be hit of. So I actually think in this case, I'm not a fucking lawyer, but goddamn, Vitaly, you have fucked up royally in this situation. And that's why I'm making this video, because I feel to hold this piece of shit accountable, and really any of these other assholes that use this stuff for content accountable, you have to talk about it. I have removed the video from all my accounts, and I ask that anyone who has saved it please do the same. Though I have never encouraged anyone to attempt to contact any person in my videos, I ask that anyone who has attempted to contact Mr. Singania cease at once. This was a learning experience for my team and me, and we will ensure that we have remained committed to the truth as we always have. No, I think, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably one of the most egregiously terrible things that I've ever fucking seen. Guys like Vitaly do. And you know, Vitaly's been hunting for predators for a while, but I always kind of generally assumed that in most cases, maybe even this piece of shit was working with law enforcement or something. But he's not. There's been so many cases of like a lot of these like child predator accounts. Like one of the accounts you might have heard of is an online group known as like Dads Against Predators. And Dads Against Predators is one of those groups where like generally these guys go up to some random people in the streets or in Walmarts or whatever and basically like confront them for being online child predators. Now, I've never really dug into every single thing that these people have done, but generally I know that law enforcement usually isn't immediately involved as they're confronting the person, which is kind of a no-no on my end. I don't know how they've been gathering the evidence, and in some cases, in many cases, these guys usually go up and physically assault the fucking person. Which the moment you physically assault anybody like this, you basically throw your entire case into severe jeopardy. Because at that point, you know, you have not just compromised an investigation, but you've probably given what could be a possible child predator, again, we don't know this because they haven't been truly convicted, an actual out. So now they can go possibly harm more children, and unfortunately, the chance you had to actually stop them, you completely threw away. Law enforcement agencies straight up say this right now when it comes to organizations like this, or like Vitaly. DAP fails to potentially realize that it is creating seriously hazardous and potentially dangerous situations in community settings. By conducting these, and by the way, they're very true on that. Imagine, you know, when you don't have law enforcement involved and these guys bring a gun for crying out loud, at that point you're putting not just yourself, them, you're putting actual other people, maybe even children, in serious danger. By conducting these operations in the manner that they do, it renders law enforcement unable to criminally charge these individuals and prosecutors unable to prosecute. Therefore, these potential predators are able to walk away with no repercussions for what they had the intent to do. DAP has, in essence, educated these people on ways to not get caught in the future, thus creating the potential for future victims of sexual assault. These victims are the very people we, as law enforcement, prosecutors, mental health professionals, are here to help and protect. Now, regardless of what your thoughts are on law enforcement and whatnot, it is the system that we have currently to put some of these people behind bars. And look, here's my ultimate viewpoint on this. I think that there's two camps, right, when it comes to people that are, you know, targeting children. If you are somebody that has thoughts of predating on it, or bad thoughts like pedophilia, for instance, you should, and you haven't acted on that, you haven't committed a crime, you should go and seek counseling, mental health counseling, that can possibly get those thoughts alleviated out of your head. I'm sure that there's some way for you not to act on bad impulses that your brain is forming. But if you are somebody that has committed a crime, I think you should fucking turn yourself in. And honestly, I think that, you know, they should lock you up and throw away the key at that point. Simple as that. But when it comes to vigilantes like this, it is a real scary market. Like, there was an actual write-up by the New York Times that brought up something that I didn't know about, which was a case known as Real Jujica. Now, why is Real Jujica an interesting case over here? Because Real Jujica, and this is some of the blurred clip in the background, is a man that allegedly broke into the home of a 73-year-old man in Pennsylvania, tied him up, and beat the crap out of him with a hammer. Then he robs the guy, films his credit cards, sharing the information with the thousands of followers that he has. So Real Jujica says that the old man was trying to, you know, solicit from a 15-year-old kid. Now, again, I don't really know what the actual reality to this is because I haven't looked deeper into the case. But I think when you hospitalize somebody and basically when they require surgery to stop the bleeding in the brain, at that point, you're not necessarily putting that person, you know, behind bars. You're not actually delivering real justice. You're not actually even giving the real story as it is. You're basically just somebody that wants to assault someone by having the least amount of consequences that you can see. I feel like there is a real market of actual pieces of shit that jump into this entire organization and or this entire field of content. And instead of actually wanting to stop predators, they just want to be able to beat the shit out of somebody, basically kill somebody without actually having like any consequences out of it. Now, look, a lot of this shit stems from people like Chris Hansen who do stuff like To Catch a Predator, and I think in a lot of cases, like Chris Hansen's show was very well done, even though obviously it had that whole, one death behind it. The reality of Chris Hansen's show was that, he worked with law enforcement, he worked with organizations that were actually doing these things appropriately. Have you ever seen body cam footage of like predators being like arrested and stuff in the morning? I saw one clip of a guy being like arrested in the morning. His parents came out. It was like a Florida raid in the morning, and basically the law enforcement agents, they basically go in, they show their warrants, and generally by the time they're actually interrogating the person that they suspect is a criminal, they tell them that yes, we have recorded, verified evidence. Like they actually followed all the protocols, and because of them following the protocols, these people actually face jail time in bars because of the crimes that they have allegedly, and in some cases, have been convicted of. People like Vitaly have decided to turn this really emotionally charged part of the internet, this emotionally charged part of society, into nothing but another fucking content mill. And for guys like Vitaly, I don't think for him stopping predators is really all that important. People, back then when we talked about like guys like Mama Max, right? Mama Max was somebody that I guess was exposed at the time for not ever like running a real predator hunting operation. It was all like kayfabe stuff. But the thing is, at least in that situation, he wasn't actually going after, he didn't involve real investigations and screw them up in the same level as guys like Vitaly has, for instance. This whole new breed of online vigilante predator hunters are doing way more harm than they're doing actual good. And it's not to say that there aren't real very good people that are doing great work stopping predators. People like Schlepp, for instance, that has done great work in the Roblox community. There's guys like Skeeter Gene that have done an exceptionally great job being the raunchy follow-up to Chris Hansen. And Chris Hansen alone has also been doing some really fucking amazing work when it comes to stopping online predators. Guys like Vitaly have done an amazing job at taking what is a very emotionally serious charged piece of content and turning it into a fucking mill. No care about anything, nothing at all. I honestly hope that at the end of this, Vitaly gets fucking sued. Some reality. I hope Akash goes through every channel, hires the best defamation attorneys he can find. That goes beyond the point. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.